Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from anywhere you are listening to me. My name is Yanifa Oshundamilola Aduniyade Omotedi Ebakwatalalu. And welcome back to another episode of my TED Talk. Yep. So today, what do I have today? I've been saying a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions that if you are an initiate, does that mean you are also a priestess? Ṣé tó bá ti ṣe orò òòṣà kan àbó ti tẹ̀fá, ṣé ó pè ẹ́ ní babaláwo àbí ó pè ẹ́ ní olórìṣà? So that is what we're going to talk about today. So let's dive into the topic. So I would like to break the topic into two. So I would define what is an initiate and what is a priestess, a diviner, right? A babalawo, yalawo. So what makes them different? So who is an initiate? An initiate is someone that has been initiated to a particular orisha, maybe Oshun, Iyemoja, Olokun, Shango, Obaluaye Afo, Olodumare Afo Baba. So Ifa, so those people can be categorized as an initiate. We are all initiate, but we are not all babalawo. So there's multiple reasons to be initiated into orisha or ifa. Some people get initiated into orisha or ifa because of maybe they are not financially buoyant, maybe because of sudden death, maybe they couldn't give birth, maybe because of sickness, and so on and so forth. So a lot of people has different reasons that they get initiated into orisha. So when you get initiated into any orisha, you get initiated into that orisha because of your own personal reasons. Because if they do like all these ritual and everything they're supposed to do during the initiation, they're going to tell you about yourself, not other person, not other people, right? They're going to tell you about yourself. Though sometimes during initiation, it might shows in your odu that you need to become a babalawo. And I'm using the term babalawo as genderless, no, it's not specific gender. So if you are a diviner, you are a female that is using the kwele, you can also be called a babalawo. Iyalawo or Yanifa is a recent word, they just coined the word, right? So it's not in Ifa, but we're going to talk about that maybe in my next video. That's not what we are going to talk about today. So during the initiation, they might tell them, your odu might reveal that you have to be a babalawo or you have to be olorisha, either of the two, right? So then when they tell you you have to be a babalawo, then you need to go under a tutelage of a reputable someone that knows what they are doing, not because they put on 10 yards of agbada or 10 yards of iratibuba and 100,000 deleke. No, that doesn't make someone a good babalawo. You have to go under a tutelage of a competent babalawo to learn everything that is needed to be learned before you can call yourself a babalawo. So after initiation, some people, it doesn't come out of their odu that they have to be a babalawo or olorisha. So you just move on with your life. You can go on with your previous job. So that is an initiate. Like I said, we are all an initiate. So who is a babalawo or olorisha? A babalawo is someone that has learn ifa under the tutelage of a competent babalawo, or an olorisha as a person that has learned Osha Dida under a competent olorisha and graduated. Because a lot of babalawo out there today, they just learn momo fun mutidi babalawo, no pun intended actually. So you have to complete all the steps. Like we have something we call Oro. After that, you will learn how to recognize each Odu. Then you will start learning how to chant Odu. Along the line, you will learn about a way, how to do a lot of Oro, and so on and so forth. Once you finish all the steps you're supposed to take, and the 256 and all the 256 Odu, then you can now be called a competent Babalawo or Olorisha. For Babalawo, if you want to be if I said you have to be a Babalawo, either you're a male or a female. I'm using the word Babalawo not for men, it's for both gender. Either you're a man or either you're a man or a woman. So we are all called Babalawo. Yalawo is just a recent word. It is not in Edu Ifa. Yeah. So Rumila called everybody that is using Okpele to divine a Babalawo. Yes. We'll talk about that later, like I said earlier. So, after you've learned everything you're supposed to learn, then you can now call yourself Babalawo. For Babalawo, like if you want to be using Okpele to divine, it takes years for you to finish learning. But for Orisha, it doesn't take that long. If your brain is really, if you're really brilliant, you can learn Asha. So, if you have a really brilliant brain, if your brain is OTG rather, you can learn Asha under 3 years. All the ritual, everything, how to interpret each Odu, how to do ritual for people like Prophet Shoro and Yoro, for people at least under 3 years or 2 years. Even some people under 1 year, you can learn everything and you'll be a competent Olorisha. However, to be a Babalawo, like a Ifa diviner, people that use Okpele, like myself, it takes years, like 3 years at the least. If you are going to be teaching, collecting Ifa every 3 days, it will take you 3 years and 3 days. I guess if you're going to be collecting Ifa every 3 days, it's going to take you 3 years and 3 days to finish the 256, that's like two verses of all the Odus. It's going to take you 3 years and 3 weeks or 3 days, I guess, to finish everything, to be called a Babalawo. So I hope with my little explanation now we know the difference from an initiate and a priestess. A priestess is someone that has a calling to be what they are. You can't just wake up in the morning and feel like I want to do this, especially when it comes to Ifa. So a priestess is someone that has the calling to be a priestess. But nowadays, is not everybody that has the calling. Most people don't have the calling. Most people just fall in love with it and they feel like, okay, I want to learn. There is no harm in that. Or if you learn it, don't just use brain. Okay, I'm just going to be using brain, checking Google, Maloma, Kanino, computer, family, and all sorts of nonsense. Of course, you can do that. But a priestess is someone that has the calling to be a priestess. Amangpe woni aworo sha, to ba jolo sha. Amangpe la aworo sha, wani pe ko joko to sha, to they are aworo sha. So we call them aworo sha, to ba ni pe ko joko ti o sha. So mo ni loko pe pẹ̀lú won ba nǹkan tí mo sọ yìí, you have learned 1 or 2 lessons or understand something that is not clear to you, at least, even the two back, you have understand a little bit from Ikotimuso. So that is the difference between Olorisha, an initiate and a priestess or a priest. Babalawo or Olorisha, that is a difference. But have it at the back of your mind that we are all initiates, because at some point in our life we all get initiated into Ifa, especially Ifa, then our Orisha that has our head, Orisha Riwa, we all get initiated into it. That means we are all initiate. However, we still have some set of people that's not special, but has the calling to be a priestess. Not just because, I like this, let me because it happens a lot here in the diaspora. Once they go home to do Ifa initiation, automatically they have become a Babalawo or they have become Olorisha. That is not how it works. You have to learn it. Just for the fact that you graduated from the medical school, that doesn't qualify you as a competent doctor. You have to go to a hospital to do what is it called? Like an internship, like a resident before you graduate to be original doctor. So the practical aspect of it is when you started learning Ifa. The theory aspect of it is the initiation. Then the practical aspect of it is when you find yourself a competent or Babalawo, Yalawo, I would use the word Yalawo, or Olorisha, to teach you to be under their tutelage. Then that is the practical. and everybody must undergo the training. Yes, if you want to call yourself a competent babalawo or olorisha, everybody must undergo this. So that is that about that for today. Thank you for listening. Ire o.